eighth release, the final one in this particular series, starts as a, you can think about it a lot like number 6 was, how it starts like a number 2, a swing through idea, and then it goes to the wrong side. We'll see that here again. I'm doing the action with my wrist, the curling action with my wrist, as if I'm doing 4. But I'm stepping across his body, causing his whole body to begin to curl. And as it curls and rises, I slip right under the point. We have, again, the spine lock. You can accentuate here with a slight touch. Some people feel a little spooked by this elbow, so some people like to put the hand up here. Generally, if you keep your hand anywhere in contact on the second side, you'll be in good shape. Whatever you feel like. Over time, you'll find out that elbow really doesn't present as much a problem as you think it does if you learn to stay in the correct sequence with him. So I recommend generally trying not to go ahead and push the elbow with the near hand. More often than not, I like just touching him here. Turn around a little bit. This way, yeah. Getting this hand contact in the low back. If you're going to use this hand at all, that's just a secondary form. Anywhere this touches him from his wrist, all the way down his shoulder to his low back. Low back really gets him going. All the way down to his knee will yield a potential extra kazushi and take him into control all the way to the ground. So the touching of that hand, of that inside hand, is a very useful tool, but it's supplementary to the release. If we were a one-armed guy and we didn't have that hand, the release would be perfectly fine if I learned to keep my position and distance with the man so that he can't ever threaten me with that bent elbow. So if you're finding in your practice a lot of sticking that hand up on the elbow to stop, it's telling you something about where you want to be in relation to him and where you don't want to be in relation to him. In other words, if you're finding in your eighth release that you are sitting here staring at his elbow right on your nose, it has something to do with your body relationship, with pausing or trying to go to a control position a little prematurely. Here's where we'd like to be. Here's where people often end up, and this can be a deadly thing because, man, he lets go of this, bam, I'm going to get my nose broke, okay? So rather than add the hand to the elbow and shove it, which is not a bad secondary response, but it indicates a problem that's having to do with where your bodies are aligning, rather than just thinking about the local problem of the elbow. Think about the relationship of the two bodies and placing yourself in an optimal place for control, which is a little more square. It's a little more 90 degrees to him at the end. So one more time. And here we go. I'm basically facing him, and he's basically facing down the room. This is your optimal places for doing 8. Good. 8 comes about, again, as in all the other ladder half releases. Either you think about it as a number 4 release gone wrong by stepping the wrong way, or stepping across his body instead of to the outside of his body, which looks like this. If I'm doing 4, I would be going here, right? But in 8, I'm going across to here in this beginning step. Or you can think about it in the reactive form. So in that case, it's as if I'm beginning to do a number 3. I'd like to do a 3 release, and man, he's fighting me. He won't let 3 go around the corner. He's got some power on this arm, and I have rolled the dice and come up the wrong number this time. I'm pushing, it fails, boom. I go where his energy takes me, and we're directly into a nice number 8. And so the reactive form is very nice. You try to push out, he stops you. And it's sort of like, it has a feeling of bouncing off a force field. You push into it, oh, and then reverse. Those forms are beautifully adaptable and will give you a very nice feel for the lines of going into the latter half of the releases. And so, again, I recommend both to pursue them as a change in your footwork that happens spontaneously. Your subconscious will just sometimes put your feet on the other side of his body, and you don't necessarily know why. You just go, wow, I wound up over here instead of over there. And sometimes you'll actually feel a line of force develop in the uke's body as he absorbs the energy and reverses you. Then you take it on down the line of that reversal, and again, you have the first function leading to the second function. One of the first